Hello, hello. I was wondering who might be around tonight. Just tagging a few people real quick. Oh no, I got a little earthquake going on here. There we go. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time tonight, but I am going to move this around a little bit. I've lost some markers in my room. That's always disappointing. Hi, Brenda. I wonder if you don't get up from your desk, how you manage to lose Copic markers in your craft room. Anybody else have that happen to them? The other night it was just one, and now it's 3 more. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So say hello when you come on so I know that you're here. I thought that we would play around tonight with some of the new release items. So I decided that maybe I'd make a little scene. So I kind of set it up a little bit already. I decided to use the, hi Laura, I decided to use this little sign from the Beep Beep Jeep set that released today. And I'll upload this video to YouTube, so when you order your Beep Beep Jeep and your elephants and unicorns and your stand-up friends, so I used this one from the stand-up friends right here. This was from Beep Beep Jeep. And then the elephant is from Elephants and Unicorns, and so is the rhino. So I decided I wanted to make a full scene. I don't know if we'll get it all colored tonight, but whatever we don't get colored, we'll be able to do on the next live. But let's just play around. I need a little bit of fun here. I've been busy today. Lots of stuff going on. So there we go. So I have them all on here. And then I stamped them. Hee hee. I jumped ahead. You see how fast I did that? That was like some magic right there. But I thought if we were going to go ahead and work on these little guys, that I should go ahead and stamp it. So I stamped it ahead of time. I see I got 7 people here and nobody's chatting tonight. Okay, well I can just talk. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little better as I'm coloring it. And I've decided I'm going to start with this little girl and this little girl. So we're going to do skin colors first because I thought that would be easier. Oh my gosh, I just found the 3 blue markers that I lost today. I just found them. Yay! So now I'm still only missing a W0 marker. Okay, so this is my Copic blend holder. I am going to put in my Copic blend that I'm going to do for the skin tones. So I'm going to start with E00, and I just stuck that in backwards. And then I'm going to wet the paper with that color. And then I've decided that I'm going to use RV95. I'm going to use E11. I'm going to use E51. And I'm going to use E00. So a little bit different color blend than what I have been doing recently in the past. I'm just going to leave this over top of them because I'm not ready to color them yet. And I don't know if anyone's commenting. I can't see any comments. So either nobody's commenting or I can't see them. Not sure which. So if you're on here and you could just shout out a hi, that would be fabulous. I'm going to start with my E000. And I'm just going to wet the paper where her skin is. Hi, Karen. We're just wetting some paper with our E000. Hi, Michelle. I don't know. I can't see any comments. I sure hope that that it's not my phone. Hi, Yvette. So I'm just wetting the paper, and since this little girl is so tiny, I'm just going to go ahead and do all of her skin at the same time. Normally I just do her face, and then I'll do her arms, and then I'll do her legs. But tonight, since she's so little, I'm just going to do all of her at one time. Jamie, if you're there, can you do a comment so I can see? Maybe I'll log into my computer real quick and make sure. Feels like I'm having an issue here, which I hope I'm not, but you never know. Just checking real quick. I'll be right back. Just checking. Yeah, there's 23 comments and I can't see any. Well, that's disappointing. I can't see any of the comments. So that's going to be really unfortunate. So hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, finally. Yay. Okay. So we're in business now. Finally. I think I missed a few. Once I looked on the computer, they were not on there. Say hi to us by name. How did I know to say hi to you by name? Well, it says you're watching with me. But it says so-and-so is watching, but it doesn't, the comments weren't showing up, and they are now, but they weren't. But it was telling me that people were on. It just wasn't showing me anything they were saying, and it just seemed odd to me that my bestie would be here and not say anything. Thank you. My husband's putting him to bed right now. Okay, so let me see if I can do this a little bit more at an angle. So I'm going to put the shadow area around her hair with the RV95. Oh, now my computer wants to talk to me too. So I'm just putting a little bit of the darkest shade in here. She's got her little arm hidden back here behind this little guy. Just little bitty, teeny tiny brush strokes. Teeny ones, little bitty. Definitely up on that marker. So they'll just be little bitty ones. Okay. You want me to zoom in a bit more? I can. Yes, I sure can. How's that? Is that better? So now you can see? I like the little car. Can I zoom in? I zoomed in. That's super cute. Okay, So I'm going to go on, yay, to E11. And I'm just going to push back on that darkest color there. Pushing that back, keeping that dark shadow area on her skin. I'm going to put a teeny bit up here by her glasses. She's pretty little, so it doesn't take much. Still a little small. Oh, still hard to see? I'll hold it up when I'll hold it up a little bit, a couple times, and maybe that'll help out. Are you watching on your phone? I can try to zoom in just a little bit more. How about that? Is that better? The closer I zoom, the more scared I am I'm going to go out of the screen. So shout at me if I do. Okay, I'm going to use E51. So I am using a 5-color combo on this one. And now I'm doing a little bit more, filling a little bit more in, but I'm not really filling it in all the way around her glasses because I want her eyes to stay lighter than the rest. Oh, good. Yay. Now you can see it better. That's awesome. Okay. So this little image here was sort of made after me, so I don't look this tan for sure. I'm really pale skinned, but oh, thanks. I'm so glad you like the images. They're from the new release today. They're actually in the shop now, and I thought it'd be super fun to color them, and we will definitely put them. Oh, good night, bestie. I'll definitely put a link underneath here to the shop, but they're in the shop right now. And I'll put this video on YouTube, and you guys can watch it after you get your sets, so you can color with me. So I'm just filling in. This is my last color in the combo, so it's E00. I'm going to hold the E00 out, and I'm going to put my R11 on her cheeks. So I want to give her some rosy cheeks, and I want to do it while the ink is wet. So I'm just going to put some little circles on her cheeks because she's super happy to be hanging out with this sweet little elephant. It is new release weekend. That's why I wanted to come on here and play around with these little images, because I have been dying to do this. Okay, so going back to my E000, that's where I'm going to finish filling in her glasses, keeping her little eyes a little bit lighter than the rest, because there's usually some reflection with your glasses. So that's one little girl. And now I want to go, I'm going to scoot over. I know, it's an elephant. Who wouldn't be super happy about that? So I'm going to use the same E000. I'm going to go with the same skin tone on this sweet girl over here. So I'm just going to wet the paper. And again, since she's pretty tiny, she's not too tiny to color, but she's pretty little. So these are little images, but a little bit quicker to color because they are little. So they're super sweet. But I put that little sign on here because I'm going to write in there rhinos, elephants, and meerkats like you're at the zoo, because I thought that would be super sweet. And if it comes out as good as I have it set in my mind, we will be great. It will be perfect. So I'm going to use my RV95. Okay, and I'm just going to go around the area of her hair, under her hair. She would have some shading there. A little bit on the side of her face, a little bit on the underside, teeny bit down her neck, where her hand is on the rhino, and where her sleeve overlaps her arm. Gonna make her a little elbow fold there. A little bit on her legs where her shorts are, where the other leg is overlapping. I won't put much on this side because it'll probably get some sun. The meerkats are adorable. Hi, Mom. Hi, Linda is watching. You missed Jamie. She already fell off to go to sleep. The meerkats are adorable, and they're super fun to color. You get to put those dark colors around their eyes. And they're quick because they're kind of small. They're all 4x6 stamp sets. So they're not small, tiny stamp sets. Just there's a lot on each one. So that's kind of a bonus, I guess. That's the way I see it. Just putting a little shadow over her nose. Doing a little more on her arms. Down her legs. So I hope everybody had a good Saturday. Mine was a little busy. I taught a Copic class. You decided to order a couple more items. Yay! Super happy to hear that. We always like hearing that. And then E51. You could color these, Mom. These slippery little suckers. I think you could color these if you wanted to. They're not too difficult. So I'm using my E51 to fill in most of the skin because this will be like my natural skin tone. Well, for this girl anyway. Hi, Doris. Nice to see some new faces popping in here. I really appreciate that. So this time before I go into my last color, I'm going to put her little cheeks, and I'm using R11 for that. A lot of people use R20, but for me, I like them to be a little bit lighter and sort of mixed in. I don't wear a lot of makeup, so I kind of like to color my girls like that. Hi, Kathy. So my last one is E00. And I'm just going to go over a little bit of what I did, fill in the part that's not colored, and go over the red cheeks a little bit. Going to just blend out these arms and these legs. See, they're just little tiny legs, so they don't take a whole lot. Just want to use more of the tip of your marker so that you can get that color in there without going outside the lines. Hi, Sandy. Sandy is watching Sandy. Hee hee. Super cute. Going back to my E000 to do her glass, where her glasses are. Again, because I like that to be lighter. So there we go. We have the two girls done. So that was pretty good. Now, I didn't, yes, and there I am, impromptu live. So those are the skin tones. I did not choose the colors already for these, so we're going to kind of wing it, which is totally fine and super fun. So I have reddish purple hair. So that's how I'm going to color her. Oh, lots of people getting ready to go to bed. Oh, you early go-to-bedders. I go to bed late. So I am going to give her just a little bit of purple in her hair. So I'm going to start her off with some brownish red, and then I'm going to throw in the purple. Because that would be super fun. So pulling my colors out real quick. Now, this is going to be a color combo I have not really tried before, so I'm going to test it really quick on this little piece of paper, and this is the way I test my color combos. So I'm going to take this extra little sheet of paper right here, and I'm going to put E49. I'm going to try E09, a little bit of brownish red. Yep. And my mom, I think, is in way ahead, like an hour ahead of me. But hey, we got to spring forward tomorrow, so we still got one more day. And then I'm going to take this purple right here, and I'm going to mix that in. This is the V15. And then I'm going to follow it up with this E23. And actually, I think I'm not. I think I'm going to not do 23. I'm going to do 12. So 2 purples and some reddish brown. So we have E49, E09, E17, V15, and V12. You already set your clocks forward? Oh, did they go forward tonight? Oh, gosh. I'm going to lose an hour, and I have the grandbaby here. Ooh-wee. Go me. Hi, Chris. Okay, so E49 is the first one, and it's pretty dark. It's a good thing you said that, although I'm sure my husband's on it. I didn't realize it was tonight. I don't know why I was thinking it was tomorrow. So it really is later. So I should have went live earlier. Because you guys are getting ahead of the game. So just putting a little bit of the dark color in her hair. I think I'm going to make this girl have brown hair, so I'm going to go ahead and use this same E49. I'm going to go ahead and try to double up on some of these colors, so I don't have to pull out too many more. I kind of want this going in the shape of her head, so I'm going to put a few more brush strokes in there. So her hair is going to be a brown and the other one's going to be purple. I know, but that's okay because I like coloring your new color of hair, so I'm all about that. Okay, so this is the E09. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this one in there, not a lot, just a little bit to get that red tint going. I don't want to put too much up under here. I'm not going to put any in that one because I don't want that one to be red. I want that one to be brown. So E17. I am going to use just a little bit of this one. Tone down that red just a little bit. Just a teeny bit, not too much. And then I am going to add the E17 to this one as well. So I'm kind of doing these simultaneously, but they're so little they don't really have that much time to dry. So if they were bigger images, I wouldn't be doing them at the same time. But since they're just little little gals. Okay, so this is the V15. This is where the purple's gonna come in for this girl, like me. So I'm just gonna add this purple tone in there. Put some down here and a little bit along that side. Look at that hair, so cute. I am not going to put it in this girl. I'll choose a different one for her. Hi, Kathy. I'm going to color a whole bunch of different things tonight. V12. So just going to blend these a little bit smoother. This will lighten it up a little bit, so I don't want to put too much on there. Okay, so now she has a purplish, reddish hair, kind of like mine. So I'm going to take these out, lay them aside so I can write them down for you when I post it on YouTube. And then I'm going to flip over to the E23 to finish up this girl's hair over here. So this is going to keep her hair really light brown. I'm not going to smooth that out too much because I really like those highlights in there. I think they look really pretty. Oh, you're fading fast. That's okay. The replay will be out there. I'm sure I'll have some night owls hanging out with me. Okay. So next, we're going to do their little outfits. So I'm going to make them match because usually when you're working, I think when you're working in the zoo, you usually kind of stick around with the same type of, same outfits. So I'm going to make them a little bit on the safari side. Good night. Yay, Michelle will stick around. YG97, YG95, YG93, and YG91. So these are going to be a little bit greenish on the pants, on the shorts for both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my darkest color. I'm going to show the inside of the pockets lined a little bit darker. Right here where her shirt hangs over. A little bit there between the legs. The bottom of the shorts, and then I'm going to come in just a little bit on the sides to show just a little bit of shape there. I want to be shapely. Oh, it's only 8:28. Oh, you guys, I'm good. I'm good for a while with you guys. So, yay! Okay, so I'm going to go where her hand is in her pocket on this one. I'm going to do a little bit around the sides, so I want to make her a little shapely as well. This rhino's horn is covering up some of her outfit, so we're definitely going to put some right close to him. And you know what? I think I might actually give him the same color shoes. Let's just go ahead and keep the shoes the same too. So their shoes will match their clothes. So that was YG97. And now we're going to go to YG95. And we're going to work a little bit more on the sides. And a little bit up under her waist. So super cute. Then I'm going to do this one, just pulling out from where I put that original color. Then I'm going to go back, touch up the shoes a little bit more. I'll probably skip the next color on the shoes so I can show highlight. These are super cute little characters, and aren't they? Don't you guys just love these? This new release was awesome. We had so many cool sets. So just gonna pull out a little bit further with this one. This one's a little bit more of the green in there. And same with this one. This last color will be very light, but I think it'll blend it all together very nicely. So YG91 is the last color. And I'm just going to finish off her little pants here. or shorts, if you will. So that smooths her little shorts out. Just one more stroke around here because I don't want to be able to see that solid line there. I'm going to finish off her little shoes. See, that leaving this color gives a little highlight on the shoes, which I like a lot. So that's why I didn't put the third color in there. So blending this one out. Gives her super cute little shorts. And their little shoes with some highlights on top. So since they're at a zoo, I figured they both should be dressed alike. Twinsies at the zoo. I think that would be cute. So next, we're going to do their shirts. What color shirts should we give them? Let's see. I think maybe a tan color. Probably a tan color. So let's go with E43, 42, and 41. So that they kind of stay with that khaki and green color. So I'm going to do E43. So I'm going to go over her shoulders where her head is shadowing. And then of course the elephant's shadowing this side of her body. A little bit under her arm. These sides to show shape. Super cute, huh? Twinsies? Yep, twinsies. We're going to do twinsies. Jamie and I usually dress a little bit twinsies when we're at the expos. So people know we work in the booth. We kind of look pretty twinsy. So I'm going to wear this shirt cuffs as well. Hi, Catherine. Don't get scared if I say your name. I don't have psychic powers. It tells me you're watching. Okay, so this is E42. This is the second color in our combo. We're going to do one more color after this. So this one is more like the true color. So I'm going to do quite a bit and leave just little highlight areas left for the last color. So we go along the bottom, leaving just little bitty highlights. Hi, Kirsten. Just going to do a little bit of this one. Excellent. These are the little twinsies at the zoo taking care of the sweet little animals that we all love to go see. E41 is my last color in this combo, so I'm just going to smooth out those colors and fill in the part I had left white. Yes, use matching shirts when you go to the expo. It helps. It helps you find the person that you're with. It helps people know you're together. If you're in a booth, it's just great. It's a lot of fun. Plus, you can put cool stuff on it, like I'm with her, or my bestie's right here, or whatever. Or we're the Scrappin' Sisters, or we're the... A lot of people put their own little, you know, swing on things. We're going to end up using a lot of markers, I see. Okay, so I'm going to start with this little rhino right here. I think that way we'll have this, we'll work our way this way. So I am going to use the T colors, like the T sequence, T6 and below. I'm just going to pull them all out because we have several different things to do, but I want to have different lighter and darker tones. So it's a super good deal that I have 2 of these, so I can put all my colors in at once. So this is going to be the T6, T5, T5, T4, T3, T2. Then I'm gonna move that aside, T1 and T0. And I will put the colors here so you guys can see them. Let me scoot that over just a little bit because we're not going to color that. We're going to color this one. So I'm going to start the shadow colors with the T6. And I'm just going to do the darkest shadowy areas. Like he's got a little bit of a bump right here. And then up under his belly here. And I don't know why I'm calling it a he. I'm going to do a little bit here. A little bit here. I'm going to do just this underside where his tail is. Oh, you like the pen holder? So my husband designed this. This is designed by Ledoux Designs. And we sell them in the shop. In the Sweet Sentiment shop. The T stands for toner. This is a toner gray. So Copic has C's, which are the cool grays, W's, which are the warm grays, T are tonal grays, and the N's are neutral grays. So several different options. I could have used the C or the N or the W. I could have used any of them for this. But I thought I would just try the T's and see how it comes out. Kind of one of those impromptu, let's try it and see what happens. You're welcome. You almost have to play with them to really know how they react because they all look a little bit different. So just kind of a little bit under this ear with this color. I don't want to put too much color on this because I don't want him to look dark gray. I want him to be a lighter gray. So this is the darkest color and I'm not going to put too much of that. I think I am going to go in and do a little bit on these little toe areas just to kind of get them started in the darkest color. And then I'm going to move on to my T5, which is also a little bit darker than the final shade I want to be. But I think you need all of them. I really, really do. So I'm going to just go wherever I put the last color and just extend it out a bit. Not really going to put too much in too many other different places. I'm just going to follow those same places where I already put the color. We're just extending it out, giving it a smooth blend from one to the other. I might go down this a little bit. Kind of start building those little feet. And because he's rounded, I am going to start going up his back just a little bit. Just to give him a little bit of shadow. Go a little bit out on the ear because we have some color there already. Not putting very much. It's very, very light. Put a little bit down here. There we go. Oh, why do you need them horizontal, not vertical? Because you're weird. You must have been reading my mind that I was going to say that. I store mine always vertical. I never store them horizontal. Ever. I mean, a lot of people think you have to, but you don't. Some people just like it that way, and that's cool. So this is T4. It's still a slight bit darker than I want, so I'm not going to put too awful much on this one. Going to start building that belly up a little bit though. Coming down the sides of his arms. I do want to see some shadow down here by his little toes. So he's super fun to color. Not hard, just a little bit of detail in there. Start bringing a little bit around his face, a little bit more around his face. Maybe a little bit up here, where his little neck is. And go around his little horns here. I want his horn to be really light, so it's going to be one of the last things that we do on this one. Just kind of bringing that together. Looks a little funny on his nose right now, but it'll be all right. I promise. You could actually use this type of idea for different animals if you wanted. Gonna do a little bit on his tail. So that was T4. We're going to go to T3. These are going to start getting significantly lighter. So following the same thing, this one I'm going to be more liberal with because this is going to be more of the true color that I want him to be. So I'm going to be a little bit liberal with this color. More than I was with the other colors because we only have one more color we're going to hit in the color group. I'm going to turn my marker because it didn't seem to be giving me the color I wanted it to, the amount of ink I wanted it to, so I turned it a little bit. I don't know why it was misbehaving, but that happens sometimes. They're like kids or something. I say these markers are misbehaving. My little kids are misbehaving today. Just blending these colors out from the last colors. I want to make his little eyelid a little bit darker, so I'm going to go ahead and color that one in. We are going to put some pink in his ears, but I want to wait until I get to the much lighter colors, so to do that part. Trying to keep his skin going in the right direction. Okay, so we're getting there, I think I'm going to put a little bit right in here, kind of with a little back and forth swoosh, just to make it look like his face is curved a little bit when we start adding in the next color. So the next one is T2. So I'm going to finish off his tail with T2. This T2 is going to start lightening up these colors, so I'm going to kind of go over most of them with this one. It'll make them all blend really well and look really nice together. So you see how that works really well. It also puts a little bit of texture color in there. If it's not enough, I can hit it with a really light one later, and you'll see the texture come out on it. But I'm I'm not putting much pressure on my marker as I'm coloring this. It's very, very light, breezy touches. Because it will wash out the color I already put on there. That's the way these light ones behave. So far so good. He's looking really sweet. I'm going to start on his face. I'm going to come out from this little area I did a few minutes ago. Kind of leave him with a little bit of a darker area there. Going to kind of go around his nose. Going to come up under his eye, but I'm going to kind of draw this invisible line right here because I want to see the white in his eye, so I'm going to leave that part there. He's blending out nicely, don't you think? Looking really sweet. Needs a little bit of help right here to lighten that up just a little bit. There we go, much better. Okay, now we're just going to go back and forth from his belly to his back, just smoothing out these areas here. And do the same thing here, from belly to back. Don't go in his ear yet. There we go. I'm just going to touch up a little bit here just to smooth out this color down here. And then we have this sweet little awesome textured little rhino. This is a little bit lighter than the rest, so I wanted to come back in one more time and hit that one more time. Super duper. I love it. Okay. So what I'm going to do with his ear is I'm going to go back to that R11 that I used for the girl's cheeks. And I'm going to color that R11 inside the ear, just not all the way, but most of the way up. So now that's a really stark difference from the gray. Hi, Jennifer. So I don't want to leave his ears so pink because they just don't generally look like that. So I'm going to take the T0, so in the same color family, still the toner gray. And I'm going to go over that pink with the T0, which is going to soften that pink a bunch. Make it look really smooth. I'm also going to go over the tips of his ears because I want them to be pretty light. And you see how that came together? It still gives the pink in his ears, but it lightens it up a lot. So I noticed that he still has a little tail right here uncolored. So I'm going to go back to that T2 that I had earlier, the last color in the color combo for the rhino. And I'm going to just color in his little tail with that T2. Then I'm going to take T4, which is one that we colored in there as well, and I'm just going to put a little line in there to give it a little bit of texture. So now that we have most of our rhino colored, we still have to do his little horns right here. So I want those horns to be significantly lighter. So I'm going to take the T1 and the T0, and I'm going to use just those two colors to color in these horns. So I'm going to smooth a little bit here first, smooth between the color I used there. Then I'm going to brush up from that. I'm going to go this underside with this darkest color, which is really not dark, it's really light. I'm going to do the same thing with this one, soften that line. And then I'm going to come in with the T0 and finish it off. So this is my T0. It is the last T. There's not a 00, so this is the last one in the T sequence. And I'm just going to brush up from where I just was. Now, if I got this darker than I wanted, I could always hit it with the colorless blender, and it will lighten it up a little bit. So let's try that just so you can see. So this is the 0. It's the colorless blender. if I come in here and I just brush across this just a little bit, it'll lighten it up just a little. So now it looks really good because it's significantly lighter than the rest of his body, which is what I was going for. So I would call that a success. Now, that was my tease. I am not going to color the elephant gray because he's right by a gray animal. So I don't want them both to be gray. So we're going to do him like the African elephant that's kind of brown. So I'm going to use brown colors to color the elephant. So I'm going to use he looks great. You like him? He's super sweet. I like him a lot. So now I'm going to do the sweet elephant. And I'm going to use E37, 35, 34, 33, and 31. So this is all the E30s. So if you can see that, 37, 35, 34, 31, 33. I also pulled out the 39 because I want to make his little, toenails, if you will, the dark color. The chubby unicorn looks great. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Cheryl. I'm going to put just a little bit of this darkest E39 around where his little toenails are. Because I really want them to separate from the body. So just a little bit on there. And then if I need some darker shadowing later on any of the elephant, I'll come in with this one. But it's easier to go light and get darker than it is to go dark and get lighter. So we're going to start without the E39 and we're going to go to the E37 first, and we're going to put in our shadow areas on our elephant. So right here by the tusk, where his head covers his body, right here where the ear separates, right here where the tusk goes into his face. I'm going to do here where the legs cross. He did design it, and yes, he did. And we told him that occasionally we'd be using more, and he said that's why you need 2 of them. Do you have the Copic markers in the store? I'm not sure if we do or not. I would have to look. I have all the markers, so I don't often look at which ones we have in the store unless I have one that dies or that I lost, like my W0 that I lost. And since I lost my W0, I looked in the shop and we did not have it. So I went to Violetta Ink. I think that's how you say it. And I ordered my W0 from there today. They have fairly good prices. Jamie has an affiliate link that you can get from our website. Just go to Jamie's My Favorite Things. The affiliate link, Jamie uses that to, it goes right back into the store. So it helps Sweet Sentiment if you use that link. And her prices are pretty good. Can I move the paper over because... Oh, all you can see is my hand? Okay. Yes, tell me that because I really can color so you can see more than my hand. I don't like to watch someone that I can't actually see. So yes, let me know and I can definitely do that. So I'm just doing the darker areas on the little elephant. It's a little bit harder for me to catch when I go off the... like over my stuff because I'm zoomed in so far. but I really want to stay there because I think it's helpful to everyone to be able to see that. So I will try to watch that just a little bit more. So I'm going to mark these little lines on his nose because I want to be able to see those wrinkles. And I'm going to go along this side of his body because that girl is standing there. A little bit under her hand. And then I think that's all except maybe the little tail. I'm going to put a little wisp in his tail. Good evening. Hello, Angela. I left you a message, Angela. I thought maybe my markers got stuck up in with yours, but they did not. I found them. I found them. So I'm super happy about that. This one is E35. And so I'm just going to go over the areas where I put the original color, and I'm going to pull out from there. And yes, this is definitely the pull. I'm not pushing back. I'm pulling out this color. Extending it a little bit further. Going over the dark shade I already put there. Just kind of going all over the elephant for that. Yes, me too. He is busy in the shop. He has been working very hard on his cosplay costume. He's a little behind because we made him work on Copic marker holders and refill stations a lot. So he's a little behind on his costume. So he's been working very, very hard in that craft room. In his craft room. We have two craft rooms. One, his and her craft rooms in our house. Okay, pulling out from that color because we want this to be that brown elephant. I know a lot of times when we color the elephants, we've been coloring them more gray than brown, but honey, they want to know what kind of costume you're doing, so you might have to whip out that picture for them. It's a little bit harder to explain than it is to show.
Yeah, because if you're not familiar with the game, you have no idea.
Is it from a game?
A video game.
It's from a video game. I'm going to go up here and show a little fold in his ear. I want to come down from his head. Because even though it would be really light on his head, I want to show some shape to it. He does make really, really amazing costumes. He's very big on detail. So he wants to make sure that it's amazing. And last year he won the Masters division at the Expo, the Dallas Fan Expo. So he has to up it this year, he thinks. So here we go. Everybody ready? Here's our brief break. What are the costumes for? Comic-Cons, conventions. This is what he's making.
And all the armor is out of leather.
And all of this armor in here is all made out of leather.
And then all the gold trim on the jacket is going to be leather also.
All the gold trim will be leather as well. So he's been stamping scales in leather for weeks. When he finishes it and I take a picture of him in his costume, I'll post it out there in the group so you guys can see it because it's pretty super amazing. Where's your one from last year? We should show them that one. They'll be able to see because now all they see is the picture of what it's supposed to look like. But if we show them the one you won last year, that'll really give the... Sometimes I do it with them, but I'm not this year. They said, amazing, you rock, dude. He's pretty crafty. I will say, we are a crafty household. This is the one he won with. That actually is my husband in the costume he made last year. So that, yeah, That's what I'm married to. It's a hobby. It's not even his job. It's a hobby. He likes doing it, but he does really well, and he wins lots of cool stuff. Hence the, how big is that TV?
55-inch.
He won a 55-inch LD TV for me last year that I have in my craft room this year. So he also won a pinball machine. Creative husbands are the best.
This is what I won the TV with.
This is the one he won the TV with. Yeah, that's my hubby. They only have girls in that one, so he thought he'd up the ante and see if he could make one in the female costume, and he rocked it. He won that TV with that costume. So yeah, he can do lots of cool stuff. He's pretty amazing.
Have they ever seen this?
Probably not. Yeah, it's super awesome. So one more and then we're done. So that's me. He made me a predator costume. I won a contest in that one too. That's the one he made for me. I like the other picture of it, but that's the one that he made for me. And I've worn that one a couple of Halloweens as well, because I told him I wanted to be the predator. My husband is so cool. Yeah, it's super fun to go and play in the cosplay costumes with him, because, you know, people don't know who you are. They love the characters, so they get very excited and they want to take pictures with you, and it's just super fun. Yeah, Karen says she wants to be us. Well, now that our kids are gone, it makes it a little bit easier. Although we did have the grandbaby here today. He was on my other live. He was really excited about it. He's asleep already. Grandpa put him down. So.
The next one I'm going to is June.
Oh, the next one is in June. But it takes a long time to build those costumes. It takes months. And so he plans it out, which parts of the costume he has to have done when. And then he starts working on them. Well, because he invented that Copic holder for me, and Jamie went crazy over it when she was at my house and said, we have to have those in the shop. You can't just have those for you. He started working on those for us. And he got behind on his costume. Where are they held at? He is a sweetie. They're usually at convention centers, almost like when you go to an expo, but it's everybody's all dressed up in costumes, and sometimes there's like different stars that go there. So like I met William Shatner last year, and I met Zachary Levi. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but that's the Shazam from the movie Shazam. That when he's grown up, the hot Shazam. I met him. He was super nice. He was a really nice guy. But I've met a few other ones at the,
California, we've not been able to hit the lottery.
they sell out in California every year. We have tried so hard to get in California, and right now they have it under like a lottery poll because it's sold out. So there's only a few opportunities to get in the lottery poll. So my husband gets on the phone and does the calls when you're supposed to, and we do it every year trying to get in, and we haven't gotten in yet. So one day we will go to that one. We just have not been able to get in there yet. But we're hoping one day, when somebody decides not to keep their tickets, there'll be an opening. We do live an exciting life. A very busy. Yes, the same day they go on sale, and we are on the phone all day trying to get, as soon as it opens, we're on the phone trying to get in. It just hasn't worked out for us. You know how that is when you It's the same as when you try to win a contest, that like, you know, a radio contest or something. You can't get in it. Oh yeah, he does. He cooks, he does crafts, makes me things, cleans the house. I kind of do the laundry, but he kind of does everything else. He does the grocery shopping. He's kind of an angel for me. Perfect for me. He's kind of epic. So the next one in the combo is E33. Look at this elephant. Isn't he coming along so nicely? He's super cute. I really like this elephant. Elephants are so sweet. They're big, but they're so sweet. I'm going to leave some of the one on the outside open for the last color, but on the back side, because it's shadowed by the body and stuff, I'm going to finish that one off with this color. Yes, we've been married 25 years, so I think we're stuck together for life now. We're happy. So, yep. We're a power couple, man. He is looking pretty cool, isn't he? You like to watch people? I like to watch people too. So, since I won't have a costume this year, I'll go as what they call a handler, which means I help him get around because he has so much stuff on his costume, stop him when people want to take pictures, and then I just get to, you know, people watch everybody else. It's pretty fun. So I'm just using this E33 to bring out these, extend out these colors a little bit further. I'm going to kind of go up from this one, meeting. When was my anniversary? October, actually, October 19th. So you're just right behind us. Ours was in October on the 19th, so this year will be 26. So yeah, it's a long time, but doesn't feel like a long time, you know? It just flies by so fast. And then this one is E31. And he's so sweet. He's sitting here watching the live, letting me know if I'm looking down when any questions are coming around. 1996 was a great year. 51 years? Wow, that's really great. You'll keep yours too? Yeah, when we get a good one, we're not letting that guy go. Okay, so this one is E31. It's really, really light, so I'm going to do the back and forth, just saturating that area a little bit. We don't want to hit this one too hard with this color because this color will wash it out a little bit. Oh, Cheryl, you're at 13. Michelle's at 22. See? We got some long timers and some short timers so far. That's awesome. Hey, if you guys made it past 7, you're good. You're golden. That's what everybody always told me. You gotta make it past that 7-year itch. I did not make it past that the first time. Will Jamie and I be in Orlando for the expo in June? Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We will also be in Orlando at the beginning of next month for Creativation. Just doing that back and forth swish, putting a lot of ink on the paper so it really blends that. You want to do it where it's lightest. You want to put a lot there, but you do not want to put a lot in the dark color right here because it'll wash it out. 25 because it's combined. Oh, if I had to combine, I'd have more years, but I don't even want to think about that. This man is way better than the other one. Wow, 13, you started dating at 13 years old? That is amazing. Ink on the paper, ink on the paper. That's right. You need some ink on the paper. Don't be afraid of the dark colors. Don't be afraid to put ink on the paper, especially if you're not on the edge of the paper, because it's not going to bleed out of the image. But you gotta have some ink down there for it to blend. Have to. Otherwise, it will not blend. And look at how pretty that blends. Now, I won't lie, this actual mix of color is yes. Yeah, I like this shade of elephant, but I won't lie, these colors, once you get down to 31 and 30, they do a lot of washing out, so it takes a little bit of practice to know how to control the marker. But once you do, this is some amazing shades for this African elephant. I love these colors. And they give it gives it a little bit of texture. I don't know if you guys can see that moving around, making the texture. Like, look how solid that color looks right there. But once you start washing this E31 over top of it, it really does texturize it a bit. So you see that? And that's what I love about it. That's why I really like to use these colors on this elephant. Plus, I like to be different. I do too. I like that color of elephant. It's super cute. Plus, it looks great next to our little gray guy here. So I did not do his toenails yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the E30. I am not going to touch anything else. Thank you. African safari. Oh, I want to go on an African safari. Tell them I'll go with them. Just kidding. I've always wanted to, though. I'm going to use this E30 just for the little toenails. I want them to be light, but I wanted to put the dark around them because they go up in his skin. But I don't want to touch anything else with this E30 because it will wash it out pretty darn fast. There we go. So now we got to do his little tusks, and then we're done with him. And then we get to go to the meerkats. So we're going to probably do the tusks first. I'm trying to keep these markers so I can write down these colors for you guys. I like the tusks in, so I'm going to use some colors I already used. So I like to do it in the 43, E43. Oh, wow. 35's great, too. E42 and E51. Now, these will be really beige, and this will bring a brighter color to it. So they'll look a little dark when I first start doing them, but that other color will bring it out. So these are his little tusks. I'm only going to put a little bit of this color because it's pretty dark and I don't want it to blend into his skin tone. E42 is a little bit more, just smoothing out where I already put that one. And then the last one is E51, and you'll see that the 51, if I had used 41, they would have stayed dull and brown. But the E51 puts a little bit different tone on them, so it kind of separates that. So now it looks more like bone, which I like. Okay, so those colors were already used, so we just duplicated them. Now we have, so we have this one done and this one done, and we have two more. So we have a sign and we have a meerkat. So let's look at our meerkats, because I think that's really important. Our little cute meerkats. So for the meerkats, I want to use, I think I'm going to use a little bit of the color we used for the elephant. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the E55, 53, 51 combo. So I'm going to mix some shades. So, excuse me, I want to keep with my E37. I'm going to go with my E35. And I'm going to skip to E55, 53, and 51. So my only question is, with this sequence right here, is my 35 and 55 going to blend well together? I know the other way they do. So we're just going, oops, we're just slippery little suckers. We're just going to test this out to see which way, if I want to do it 35 first. Oh, yep, I want 35 first and then 55. And see, those will blend really well together. Hello, Ellen. I was wondering if you was going to pop in. It's okay. Look what we've done. So you can watch the replay if you want. We did these two little girls, and they match in their clothes. And we did the rhino, and we did the elephant, and now we're going to do the meerkat. So we have E37, 35, 55, 53, and 51. Never too late. That is correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this little meerkat first. And I think I'm going to start from the opposite end. So I'm going to start with the lightest color first. Bless you. Never too late. We love having you, even if it's just at the end. Just come in anytime. Okay. So with this E51, it's my lightest color that I chose. And what I want to do is I just want to do this little chest area where, let's see, where I want the belly to be a lighter color than the rest. So I'm going to do that on her. This, I'm saying this is the girl and this is the boy. Who knows if that is true, but that is the way it's going to be for me.
What's the name of the Meerkat stamps?
It's called Stand Up, friends. Stand up. Have you guys heard the stand-up story? It's pretty funny. So Janie thought that it would be hilarious if she named them Stand Up because of my stand-up story. She's so crazy. That girl cracks me up. Okay. So we're just putting in a little bit of the belly color. And I think I'm going to put just a little bit up here on his ears and her ears. I may end up covering that, but I wanted to just put a little bit of that in there anyway. You love them a lot. You love the meerkats a lot. They're really cute. They look, once you get them colored, they look, oh my gosh, so stinking cute. Okay, so now I'm jumping over. Yeah, you would have loved to have seen the stand-up. Yeah, I wish I had that on record because that would have been funny. Okay, so this is my darkest color, E37. So what I'm going to do is I want to outline their eyes because their eyes are always darker than the rest of them. So when I do this, this is going to make these meerkats look very funny for a little bit. Because they are going to look like they're wearing brown glasses. Isn't that funny? Okay, I'm going to do it on both of them. I'm trying really carefully not to get it in the eyeball because I want them to start really, really white. I'm going to put a little over his nose too. Okay. And then, the story's so funny. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit on their paws because their paws seem to be darker than the rest of their bodies as well. And then I will also use this for just a little bit of shadowing. But I want their paws and their feet to have this darkest color on them. And then also, I'm going to put a little bit on their tails. I gotta move this one. They're so dorky that they're adorable. Man, do I agree with that. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit at the end of his tail with some little brush strokes there. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I almost need to turn the paper to get those teeny tiny brush strokes going the way I want. I'm also gonna put just a little bit down here where his tail meets his body and hers as well. And then I'm not really going to do a whole lot more than that except for maybe right here where the ears are. I kind of want there to be a little bit of darkness there. Let's go here because there'll be some shadowing down the long side of them. A little bit down under here. Maybe a spot here. Let's see, do I want to put any? Maybe I'll put a little bit in here just to accent their different, where the body parts are overlapping. Okay, so I think that's enough. It looks like he's wearing glasses. I know, is that not the funniest thing? But you have to have that color in there so you can start blending from that color, but they do look pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. They do look super funny. I told you he was going to look funny for a little bit. E35. Okay. So we need to put just a little bit of fuzzy brush strokes. They're going to be really tiny strokes. Can you see them? I'm hoping I'm putting them close enough. Put my hand further away so you can see it. I'm going to make them a little bit thicker here because this part doesn't have that really light belly color. Now I'm going to do a little bit going the other way. So it's going to look a little funny for now, but we're trying to give them a little bit of a fur-like feel to them. So a little bit more up his paws, a little bit on his arm. We're going to come down a little bit further from here, just along his side over here. I think these meerkats are usually a little bit more of a tan-ish color, if you will, but mine are going to be a little more brown than tan because I was trying to keep the colors I use down a little bit. So I'm trying to replicate colors. I'm going to come up a little bit from here. A little bit on his feet because we definitely want his feet to be brown. A little bit from here. We want those teeny tiny strokes so it looks like fur. I'm going to come out a little bit from these strokes. I'm going to do him a little bit in a curve because his tail is curved around. So you see how the brush strokes stay curved as well. And then a little bit from this tail. This one's going to have to curve around as well. So I'm just going to try and keep those curving. Part of her leg, her little leg. Do a little bit where where her foot is. So coming together. Hi, Pam. You like our little guy who looks like he's wearing glasses? Gonna do the same thing with her. Teeny tiny little brush strokes. Up and down. Extending out for the area that is not going to be the lighter color. I'm going to go down her back. I think I'm going to turn the paper real quick. Okay, so I want these to come down her back but a little bit curved so it starts moving with her body. Like that. I'm going to come down here. And we want to kind of draw this line in. We'll do a few little brush strokes there as well. So we're keeping those little, oh wow, it's late. Thanks for hanging out until 1:30. Good night. Sleep well. So I'm going to go up from here. A little face. I'm going to do a little bit on her head, especially on the side where the bigger one is over her. Teeny tiny brush strokes. A little bit along the top. I'm going to do a little bit around his nose here. And a little bit up her nose, up her nose. That sounded funny. And I'm also going to do just a teeny bit under her chin and his chin. Not too much. I don't want to put too much color in there. So this is where I'm switching from the brownish colors in the 37 to a more caramel color. So E55 is going to be significantly lighter. You saw me test out that color earlier. So following that same pattern, we're just going to pull the strokes out a little bit further. And because the colors are quite different, you're going to see those brush strokes stay in there a little bit, which I'm good with. That's funny. I could see that actually. It's funny though. Definitely funny. I didn't know I was doing character meerkats tonight. But it is turning out that way just a little bit. Okay, so we're giving them this fur look. So that's why I'm making sure that most of my strokes are brush strokes and they're going in the direction. So I'm going to do this one as well, right here. I'm going to go alongside his body and her body. Even though we're going to keep most of that very, very light, I still need to show some shadow. Some more tiny, tiny brush strokes. Gonna keep going with that whole thing. Okay, we're gonna come down this side with our brush strokes, kind of keeping them curved until we get to the bottom. I missed a few spots, so I went back through. Okay, and now we're doing some going this way. Then we're going to keep this curve going around on the tail. Same thing on this one. See, this is starting to come together very nicely. That little curve stroke takes some practice. So you have to kind of practice that one, no joke. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more on her head. And now I'm going to start really blending out with that dark, dark color. So I'm going to start lightening that a little so it can get a soft transition from one to the other. Still leaving those really dark eyes. Super cute. Getting better. Not quite as glasses looking. It's starting to look a little less like glasses, a little more like a meerkat. So now we're going to do the same thing with him. We're going to just really touch that line where that stark line is. We're going to do that all the way around. Just soften that a little bit. I mean, we want it to stay dark. We just don't want it to be like glasses. So we're just following along that line, just really smoothing out that stark change from his dark eyes. And as we go along, that will get better and better. Doing those brush strokes again. This one's all about the brush strokes because we want it to show like it's fur. So this one takes some practice. That's why I wanted to use so many of these images, because I thought each one is colored so differently. I thought you guys would gain a lot from watching each one. So here's E53. So this one's going to be pretty light as well. Using a little more of the color in here. See how I adjusted to hold that marker more upright, because I really want to still see those brush strokes in here. And part of the key to that is not doing them over top of the previous brush strokes. You're almost doing them in between each time so that you can really still see the brush strokes. So this one, just going to fill that in. Just going to fill in the bottom down here, both on their feet. Looking pretty good. Okay, so for this one, I want to just soften this up a little bit. I'm going to finish off this little hand back here. I'm going to go to turning the paper a little so I can really see. You can really see these brush strokes out. So see how they're not exactly side by side? There's kind of some space in between them. And we do that on purpose to give that effect. So that's the reason that I'm coloring it in that manner. So you can really still see those lines. Gonna do just a little bit more on this one, right from here. This one as well. I'm going to come down here. Just kind of do where his mouth is. I'm going to brush up from this area that I blended just a few minutes ago. We do our brush strokes from the top because we just have one color left. Filling that in just a little more. Starting to look super cute. Going to do a little bit of smoothing here. Going to do the same with her. A little bit of smoothing there. Going to brush up again from where her eyes are. A little bit down. Going to kind of finish out their ears with this color. Going up with this one. Do her upper lip. Coming down the arm. that's good for 53. Now we have 51. You like them? Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do his head first. So we're going to use this 51 and we're just going to kind of smooth out all of that was left. We're smoothing it out a little bit, but still leaving it looking a little bushy for the fur perspective. So these are just going to be very, very light, barely touch the paper swishes back and forth. So this one's going to do the same thing. So I'm going to swish back and forth, but just not putting a lot of ink on the paper, just very, very lightly. If you put a lot of ink, it's going to blend those really smoothly, and I don't want them to be smooth. Oh, you love all the images. Yay! Okay, so same thing with this one, back and forth, back and forth. I am not putting hardly any pressure at all on the marker. So I really want this to be extremely light. My voice got a little cracky there. Same thing with this one, really, really, really light. Same here, following that same pattern of very, very light. Gonna go up here, gonna fill this in. Looking good, looking good. So cute. This is coming out really good. I'm super happy with it. Okay, so I am going to pull my E50 for the belly part because I want that to be a bit lighter, or maybe we should even pull a W. Let's try that. Let's pull a W1. Since I would use W0, but since I lost mine, we're going to have to go with W1. So W1. And that way, he'll have a little bit of a different tone on his belly. Than the rest of his body. That way the belly will stand out just a little bit more. There we go. That's looking good. I'm glad we switched to the W's instead of the 50. Because I think that really makes it. What do you think? Let's try the W00, one last one, just to kind of blend this out a little bit. I super duper love that. I think that looks really good. Pretty happy with how that's coming out. So now we need to do his eyes, because I think as big as these eyes are, they need to have some color in them. They are stinking cute. I really do like them too. Did I just put that on the right marker? Yes, I did. Okay, so maybe we'll make this sign a bright color, or maybe we'll make it the green or something, because we got a lot of brown over here on this side. But for their eyes, because their eyes, I want there to be some color in the eyes, I think I'm going to make the eyes green. So I'm going to go to the YG95. No, let's do 93. YG93, because that one's a little bit more greenish than the 95. So we're going to do 93. And then we're just going to go around his eyes very lightly, and just, or hers, and just, what? Around the outside, around the outside. So we're just giving her a little bit of color in her eyes. I'm going to do the same thing with the boy. Just giving them a little bit of that greenish color in their eyes. Super cute. So we also need to do their noses. And I think I'm going to keep that a really dark shade. So I'm going to go back to that T6 we used on the rhino. And I'm just going to color in their noses. I'm going to come back with the white gel pen and put some white on their noses. But for now, their noses are going to be dark gray. So they're super cute. So now we have our little meerkats done. We have all our other things done. So let's make this sign be the green colors that we used earlier on the pants. So we used YG97, YG95, YG93, and YG91. So I'm going to do the back side of this sign right here with the darkest one, YG97. I'm not going to do all the way up because I think it'd be lighter up there. I am going to put just a teeny bit underneath this, and underneath this, and underneath this. And maybe from down here. Okay. So then YG95. Let's move over a little so you can see my numbers. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to come a little bit down here, down this side where the darkest color is. Same thing here. Down from here. I'm going to go up on this one and down. I'm going to go ahead and finish that top of that one off. I'll do the arrows separately because I'm going to make them a little bit lighter than the whole sign. So now, I love this little sign, YG93. So you can put whatever you want in the sign. There are some in the stamp set that will fit on the sign. They say zoo, safari. They're on this one. Jungle, safari, and zoo. And they're stamps and they fit perfectly inside this little sign right here. But I want to say some other stuff on there, and I'm just gonna hand write it in there. Cause I'm gonna be cool like that tonight. Hopefully I won't mess up any of the words. But no promises. Okay, YG91 is gonna finish off this part of the sign. Okay, so now it looks a little old and weathered. I like that. That was what I was hoping for. And now I need to color in the arrows. So I'm going to go back, but not to 97. I'm only going to go back to 95. I'm going to use 3 colors, 95, 93, 91, because I want them to be a little bit lighter than the rest. So I'm going to come down this arrow, and I'm going to do the undersides. Like this. I'm going to do a little bit right there because it'll be shadowed by that upper one. Then I'm going to do the same type of shadow on this one. Right here and here. A little bit here because it's underneath that one. A little bit here. And then the same thing on this one that I did on the below one. None on the top of that one, because there's not another sign above that one. Okay, YG93. Okay, So I'm going to push out from where I put that last color, just dragging it a little further back, starting to fill in this arrow. We only have 3 colors in this combo, so this is the true color. So it's going to be a little bit more of this than the other 2 colors. Okay, and then we're going to do YG91. Okay, so finishing this sign off. It's going to be light enough to write on. We'll still be able to see what it says. I like that. These colors blend really well together, so they'll look super good. Wouldn't you want to follow a sign that looked that good? Can't be wrong. Can you hear Jack snoring? My dog is snoring under the table. He must be tired too. Okay, so there's our green sign. Okay, so now we have all our images colored. So let's do a little bit of accent real quick just to bring out some of the highlights in it. So I'm going to use my multi-liner 0.03, and I'm going to just color in the eyes just to deepen that black on them so they stand out a little better. I'm going to do the same thing with the elephant. Just going to color in his eye a little bit darker. I'll make them show up a little better. I like that. And then on these little meerkats, I'm going to do the same thing. Just put a little bit darker black in there. I sometimes think they stamp dark enough, but once you go over it, it sometimes lightens it just a tad. Oh, and then with my pen, I'm going to write in here, I'm going to write rhinos, elephants, and meerkat. So there we go. Now we have a sign that says which way all our little guys are going. Yes, an adorable slimline card. I'm so glad you like it. And then I'm going to use my white gel pen from Pear Blossom Press because it is the best white gel pen there is. And I'm going to put just a little white dot in the eyes of my little animals. I'm also going to put just a tad in the girl's eyes. Just teeny tiny little dots. This gel pen does the best tiny dots ever. And then I'm going to put some in the meerkat's eyes. And then I'm going to put that little tiny bit over their nose, just to give that little accent on their nose. So now we have our meerkats, who are definitely standing closer to us. And then we have our elephant and we have our rhino. So I love this. And I think a background will be adorable. So how about we come back and do the background another night, and I will name it the part 2 when I do it. And then we will make it a slimline card. That was kind of the thought behind it. But I think people wanted to see the cobblestone, so I thought maybe I could put some cobblestone in there, like maybe a little pathway where the words are, and then we'll do some grass and some sky and stuff in the background, but I think we could do that on another night because it's getting a little late and I really wanted to color these. And I didn't want to keep you guys up too late. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved the new release because I so love the new release. But we'll bring this back and we'll do a background. And I will see you guys later. Get some sleep because we have to jump ahead tonight. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll see you guys soon. Yay! I'm glad you liked it. Remember, I'm here every Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. Central Time. Thanks, guys. See you later.